Welcome to Scale with Julia. I am scaling coach and sales trainer Julia Pimsler. I have sold $32 million worth of products and services over my career, and I'm now helping women to make more sales. If you're not a woman watching, you're welcome to listen too. It'll be relevant for you. But our mission at Million Dollar Women is to help more women make more money. And one of the big things missing for a lot of women is sales training. So today I'm super excited to be back with you. I just had my annual summer brain break where I was away for 12 days in Paris and London with my boys. I had a blast and totally refreshed. A big highlight was seeing ABBA Voyage concert in London. If you get a chance to see that, go see it. Amazing. They filmed a concert and turned it into a hologram, and it's now a hologram concert, which sounds weird, but I think we're going to see a lot more of it. It was super realistic. I danced my face off with my 16-year-old and I had a blast. So now we're back, and today is all about objections. This is one of the most important things to master of the sales call, and it's also one of the hardest things because this is where people often get tripped up. Objections is just a fancy term for what your client or customer has pause about, right? What are they nervous about? What's giving them pause? Why would they say no? They have objections. And the worst thing you can do when they have objections is to get defensive or panic or feel like, oh, they don't want me anymore. So let me just break it down for you. I'm going to tell you the 3 things not to do when you hear objections. So the first thing is, don't take it personally. If you take it personally, then you're going to feel like, oh, I thought things were going so well. And now all of a sudden they're saying, I don't know if I can afford it, or when is the next one? That's not going to get you anywhere. So don't take it personally. It's just them having questions. Think of them as questions, not objections. They're just doing their job, which is to make sure it's right for them. So first thing is, don't take it personally. The second thing is, make sure that you're not winging it. So many people are winging their answers during objections. There are tried and true ways of answering objections. We teach them in our program. You can learn them in any sales program. And we're also giving you a free objections cheat sheet. All you have to do is write in the comments here on LinkedIn objections, and we'll send it to you. Or if you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else, just find me on LinkedIn or Instagram and DM me and just say objections, and we'll send you this free cheat sheet. Because if you've written up some of the key objections you often get and what answers to give to them, and the cheat sheet helps you figure that out, then you won't be thrown off when they start having objections. So that's the second thing, is don't wing it. Make sure you have ready to go answers. And then the third thing is, don't take your foot off the gas. Just because they have objections doesn't mean that they're going to say no. Often when women haven't had sales training, I see them kind of backing up when the person has objections. Maybe that's part of the taking it personally, but this is the time to actually move zealously to the close. That's something else we teach in our program. Move zealously to the close, meaning when you're in this objections phase of the call, which is typically at the end, and you're getting close to getting a yes, that's a time to ramp up the energy, not ramp it down. And again, in sales training, you get a lot of practice doing that. It doesn't come naturally at first to sort of say, okay, great, well then let's get started. Or what would that look like if we got your team up and running on Monday? But once you've tried it a few times, you'll be able to kind of power through those objections and move zealously to the close. A great metaphor for objections is like when you're in the ocean and you're playing around, maybe at the shore, and all of a sudden you get knocked over by this huge wave, right? You're tumbling around, you get sand in your mouth and in your bathing suit. It sucks, right? We hate when that happens. But if you see the wave coming, if you're playing around and you see the wave coming and you see it cresting and you're like, oh, hey, look at that wave. Now I can play with it, right? Should I go over it? Should I go under it? Should I swim right through it? That is what it's like when you master objections. When your client or customer starts throwing all these questions at you, you're not going to feel knocked over by the wave. You're going to be like, oh, right, this is the part of the call or meeting where they're going to have objections, and I'm going to set their mind at ease about all the things that they're anxious about. So think of it like the wave, and you want to see it coming. I've loved seeing women in our 50K in 21 days challenge program learn within just one session how to handle objections with confidence. And then they come back the next week because we always share wins. And I hear things like, When they started making objections or having questions, I was cool as a cucumber. I've never felt that confident before, and drove it all the way to a yes. So if you know that's the part where you get flustered on sales calls or in sales meetings, this is definitely a place to do some work. And if you're looking for help with that, or you learn well in a group program, or you've been looking to get your revenues up and you're not quite sure how to do it, we have a sales program starting on July 24th, 50K in 21 days. That's in 1 week. And we still have a couple spots left. So set up a call with us. You can just go to scalewithjulia.com. I can throw up a little banner to make it easier for you, and book a call at scalewithjulia.com. Or check out the program at millionwomen.com, where we have our signature program, $1 Million Women Accelerator. That one is starting in August. And we have a sales program starting on July 24th in 1 week. Super excited to work with a new group of women. So back to objections. Now you know what not to do. So you're not going to panic or take it personally. You're not going to wing it. And you're not going to take your foot off the gas. Let's talk about what you should do during objections. So one, you want to really tease out what exactly is the objection. So for instance, if they say, I don't think I can do it right now, I can't, commit to this right now, you'd want to really tease out, is it about the money? Is it that you can't afford it? Or is there something about what I'm offering that doesn't sit well with you, or you still have questions about? Just knowing how to do that alone can make all the difference, because we sometimes assume that they just don't want to do it or they can't afford it. When in fact, if you separate out, do you want to do it and can you afford it? That gives you a chance to work through the can you afford it. If they say, no, I'm dying to do it, I think it's perfect for me, there's nothing that gives me pause, I just don't know how to come up with the money. Well, then you have an opportunity to say, okay, well, can I help you with that? Can I come around to your side of the table and tell you how some other people have found a way to get this done? So that's one thing that you can do during objections. Another thing to do during objections is to help the person see that they're focusing on what could go wrong and not what could go right. Now, you don't want to say that directly, but after you've heard the objection and acknowledged it, rather than kind of going deep into this fear of theirs, like for instance, I'm a coach and many women have worked with coaches who have not panned out for them. It's happened to me too. I've spent probably thousands of dollars. I can think of one coach, $7,500, didn't get any results. But I worked with so many coaches where I got tremendous results. It's part of why I wanted to become a coach. So when I have a woman starting to tell me about all the coaches that didn't go right, I acknowledge, I empathize, I tell her I've wasted a bunch of money too, but I don't go too far down that rabbit hole of that objection, because that just gets her in a frame of mind of like, oh, right, last time I hired a coach, it didn't work out. And that has nothing to do with me and the results that I can get her. So what I would do in that instance is just redirect, maybe with a story about someone who reminds me of her, who got good results in the program, maybe talking about what's possible for her business, just kind of reorient towards something that will give her the renewed faith in what we can do for her. Because don't forget, if this person has set up a call with you or is having a meeting with you, they have a big problem that needs solving. Because getting on a call with an expert or having a meeting with an expert is not the first thing that people do. The first thing they do is Google it and watch free webinars and download podcasts and ask their friends. Those are all the things they're doing if the problem is not that big or they're not that ready to solve it. So if they're on this call with you, I want you to assume this is a big problem. They need your help solving it, and that the way you can serve them at the highest level is to learn how to coach them through these objections. Because if you're listening to this thinking, oh, I think I do some of those things, I think I wing it, I think I take it personally, I think I take my foot off the gas, that's okay. That's totally normal, but it just means you haven't had sales training yet. I was doing all those things, 10, 15 years ago before I got my sales training. And now we're helping hundreds and soon thousands more women to just avoid these simple mistakes so that they're not leaving money on the table and so they can serve more clients. I have a feeling if you're following me that you are passionate about what you do and like us want to make a big impact. And the best way to make a big impact is to get better at selling. And this specific thing of overcoming objections is one of the best things to master. So I hope you'll start using some of these tools right away. And for more help with this, just keep coming back here every week. Next week, I'm going to cover guarantees and how you can use guarantees during objections to help your clients and customers feel that extra level of security and confidence about saying yes to you. Again, we've got a sales program starting in a week. Very affordable thanks to our corporate sponsors and the foundation supporting us. We also have some scholarships available. So do reach out if you want to be considered for the class. We're down to the last few spots. And I will see you back here next week for the next Scale with Julia, all about guarantees. Have a great day and go play some ABBA in my honor. I had an amazing time. Love, love, love that concert. I'll see you next week. Bye.